Okay, so I've been looking for this for a while, since people have been posting about it the last couple days. And shout out to Jeff G Spurs for posting this because I couldn't find it anywhere. Okay. So it was one of those situations where people heard it on the radio, people took the quote, started posting it. But yeah, it's right. Oh, wait, actually, it wasn't just him that posted it. Okay, cool. Cyrus XM posted it. So Bonner had something to say about Devin Vassell, and all I saw was the quote. So I wanted to go over this because someone earlier in the chat actually mentioned Devin Vassell. And hold on, it was like one of the first messages or first chats on here. What was it about Devin? If I can find it. You guys started talking about like baseball and here it is. It was Mr. Josh G. See, I see all comments. You guys think I don't see comments. I see you. He says, I think Devin Vassell coming off the bench this year. It's also a make it or break it year for him. I feel like him coming off the bench will help keep him healthy. I think he's going to go hard. All right, so pretty positive comment. I'll give you my thoughts on that in a second. But, I think it is related to whatever Matt Bonner's talking about here. So let's listen to what he had to say.
One of my big keys to the Spurs' success, Devin Vassell. I think he's underrated.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit because it was turned down kind of low. I didn't realize.
One of my big keys to the Spurs' success, Devin Vassell. I think he's underrated. He's sneaky, super athletic on both ends of the floor. You just got to stay healthy, stay on the floor. When people look at their roster, they forget about him. And, he's a really good player. So I think, he gives them, a really good third scoring option that can go off and be that X factor when they need it.
I absolutely agree. Now I'm gonna I'll just have it play, even though it's just gonna be this little visual. It's not really doing anything. So I completely agree with what he has to say. Okay, so first and foremost, I've said this so many times. Devin Vassell is a third, fourth option on a team, right? A lot of people got upset about the inconsistencies, which I agree with you. The inconsistencies were not great this season, but the inconsistencies actually didn't it didn't really show up as much in his stats as you would think. I think it was more so just kind of, I don't want to just say vibe because you're going to think oh, it's just a vibe. Then what does it mean anything? But it's been kind of games where he's more aggressive than other games, right? There's games where he'll attack the rim relentlessly, and now he's opening things up for his game and his teammates. And then there's games where he's just a little bit more passive, right? His defense is always consistent, but offensively he becomes a little bit more passive. He's just kind of in the background. And when we have a team that can't afford for Devin Vassell to be a little inconsistent with his aggression, it really shows, and that's what leaves us watching him and leaving these games saying, wow, he needs, I never said this, but people are like, he absolutely needs to go. He needs to be traded right now. And I don't blame people for it, because when he is our second option, or we desperately need him to compensate for the lack of defense we have coming off the bench and stuff like that, so he has to score even more than maybe if he had a better team around him, I completely get why people will be upset and saying he needs to go. He's not a second option to Wemby. I think that is blatantly obvious that he's not a second option, but I am not one to be like, he's our third or fourth option, he has to go. I do not understand that at all. What you mean? Wait, WYM means what do you mean, right? You probably need to elaborate on that a little bit, and I can try to tell you what I mean. But if he's a third or fourth option, you can have a guy afford to be a little inconsistent, aggressive rise, right? That's totally fine, and you're actually going to be very deadly if you have a better team in front of him. And like Matt Bonner said, he's a guy that people kind of forget about, right? Because you have other things to worry about. And they also forget him because sometimes he's not as aggressive, right? And he's mentioned this. This isn't something that's coming just from fans. He's mentioned, hey, sometimes I'm not as aggressive as I should be, right? And the coaching staff has mentioned it as well when they talk about Devin. Hey, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Not in a negative way, but, just saying, hey, he's very important for us, right? But yeah, he has games where he can just go off, right? he can just absolutely go off. He's making incredible shots. He's hitting threes from everywhere on the court. And now that you have a Fox who can really bring a lot of rim pressure, because I thought that Chris Paul would be able to help with this, but Chris Paul is obviously declined quite a bit from his heyday, which is okay. It's totally fine, right? It happens to everybody, but he doesn't bring the same type of rim pressure as somebody like Fox will bring, right? Or even somebody like, Harper getting added to this team. And we all know that Castle can finish pretty strong. So he has quite a few guys that's going to make his job much easier, and we have so much more talent. And we're not going to rely on him to, we need you to score 20 plus points per game. We do not need that, right? If he plays I really mean this, if he plays the exact same way as we seen this and the season prior, Devin Vassell is going to be so important for this team, right? Sometimes it is just circumstantial. Sometimes it is just in the middle of a game and what you need, right? But everyone is dependent on, the team around him. He's not a superstar. He's not even a star. I don't know. Devin Vassell may make an all-star appearance, maybe, but the Spurs will have to be like really good, and it'll be Wemby kind of bringing him in as things happen, right? You have a superstar, and then you kind of, just because how good that team is, other guys start to get voted in. So maybe, probably not, right? So, but at the end of the day, I think I completely agree with this, and I really want to see Devin Vassell with a team that's just much better now, where we don't have to rely on him to be the second option. I think he's going to be very scary. I look at this roster and I see almost no gaps. The only gaps I see is, Castle needs to work on his shooting, his outside shooting. Obviously, Sohan, he's working on that. So hopefully he's much better. Just be consistent. Just be a consistent guy that can score about, 2 threes in a game. That's fine. That's all I'm asking for. Nothing crazy. And the same thing with Fox had a season where he was really good from outside, but Fox, hopefully he can be someone that's pretty good, outside scoring. So some things have to come together, but for the most part, defensive wise, the amount of depth coming off the bench, I'm not really that. Yeah, I think we have a pretty great team on paper. And to what Mr. Josh said here, as far as will Devin Vassell come off the bench? I think so, right? I'm not opposed to him starting, right? I'm not opposed to it. But I just like kind of the mixture of guys that are a little bit more experienced coming out the bench versus starting. That's why I'm a huge advocate for Harper starting, especially at least at some point in this season. I'm hoping earlier than later, just because he's a young guy. He'll be surrounded by Fox, Wemby. So he's been in the league a little bit, he's been in the league longer than Wemby, and then you got Harrison Barnes, and he could be like kind of that dynamic player next to these more seasoned guys around him, and we could really bring some heat. And then you have Castle and Vassell come off the bench, and I just don't know if any other bench units is touching this. Like they are very talented, right? I just like that balance that you could do with that. So yeah, I'm really excited. Luckily, Vassell is a player that kind of fits with any team, right? Like he just kind of does. Like any team can use a guy like this. So I can't really imagine a team that Vassell goes to that he's not impactful, right? Or they can't use him. So that's a very good thing. So regardless of the direction that our boy Mitch Johnson goes in, Devin Vassell is going to be utilized pretty well, right? Yeah. You said, unfortunately, Devin Vassell's skill sets are perfect for off the bench, but I don't want him to do that. You don't want him to come off the bench. I mean, it's fine if he come off the bench. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, I mean, if it feels like sometimes he is in the zone, sometimes he's not, and it turns into Allen Iverson argument. If you have a bad shooting night, you should still shoot. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately for us, we've been in a position where Devin had to be the guy, right? And the question when we got Wemby was, can he be that second guy next to Wemby? Can he be his CJ McCollum to our Dame, right? I mean, they never won a championship, so I guess that's not a great example. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, can he be the Baines to our Jaw, you know? And I don't think he can. I don't think he's that type of player, right? I think he's a third or fourth option, and he's a very great one at that. And I don't think that... Oh, another thing, I didn't even bring this up. Another reason why so many people, like, really smack Devin Vassell down throughout the season is because of the contract as well. So you have to bring that up. Like, people did not like the contract. Me, like I said before, and I'll say it again, go and look at other guys that's making about the same amount, right? And also you got to look at like the percentage which he's taking from the cap. It's not as bad, especially when you compare him to his peers, right? There were plenty of his peers that were not performing well whatsoever with the same amount of money, either injured or just not playing as well at all, right? The first person that comes to mind is DeJounte Murray. Like, he ended up getting injured, but before that, he was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So yeah, Devin is definitely worth the money, especially if you look at his peers. I don't think he's as bad as people made it out to be. Ant-Man to our Gobert. Okay. TJ McConnell to our Halliburton. There you go. People bringing some comps out. There you go. Yeah. But anyways, I'm really looking forward to it. I think that he's going to do great. And I don't think we'll notice the inconsistencies this time around. I don't think you'll notice, oh, he wasn't as aggressive this game. You're not going to notice. Because we got too much talent. You know? We just got too much talent. Kobe to Shaq. Yeah, can he be the Kobe to our Shaq? I guess. That works.